Hello. Okay. I'm not sure if you can really see my mat. Let me just rearrange a little bit here, okay? We can. Maybe we're okay. Hi, Christina. Okay, so if you have two blankets, then I'm going to suggest putting one down. I mean, unless you're on carpet or something, then that's great. But I have my mat and then one of my blankets just down on the mat. And then I have another one here that's just rolled up, like basically the same size as you would a yoga mat. So depending on the kind of blanket you have, hopefully it's not too much bigger than that. Hi, Kathy. Yay. So yeah, just a blanket down on the floor, one blanket rolled up. It's going to be, you want it about as long as your spine. So whatever blanket, even if you had a really big towel, that would probably work too. And then I just have two pillows. I forgot my eye pillow. So if you have an eye pillow or a scarf or something that you like to cover over your eyes, that's great too. All right. I think that for tonight's practice, actually, I'm going to sort of practice along with you. So it'll be quiet, like we'll do a little bit of strengthening work while in some of the postures, and then we'll just kind of allow ourselves just to relax into the shapes. So I'm just going to invite you to, if you are like, she's not saying anything, did I lose her or anything? I'm just going to be really quiet as well. So just give us a little bit of quiet time. Hopefully you're in a space that allows for that you have some quiet space that you can get away to right now. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see me here. What I want you to do is come on to this roll. You're actually going to, I'd say probably sit on the very end of it. And then roll yourself back so that we can see where we want the very top part of the blanket to be between the shoulder blades, but you really just, it should feel like fairly comfortable. I mean, it's going to be a little bit invasive because it's between your shoulder blades, but it shouldn't feel uncomfortable. You just kind of have to find the spot. Your shoulder, like the heads of your shoulders might still be hovering a little bit on the mat. So just take your time to kind of adjust there, and that your head can just come down. Where you would be able to comfortably put your arms out to the side is really where you want to be, to like a T shape or a W kind of shape. If that's bothering your neck at all, like if it's just feeling, just something feels not quite right, feel free to just grab a pillow as well. This one's a bit big for me, but you can always do that, or just fold over your blanket underneath you. All right, so just take your time to get cozy in this shape. Move around a little bit so that it feels like you are aware that you have the blanket roll kind of right between the shoulder blades, but that it feels okay to be there. It's not causing any pain or extreme discomfort. Just find a shape with your legs. The feet can be wide, knees drop in or at about hip distance. Just let them fall into a relaxed shape for just a moment. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Reach the arms out to the side, palms facing up, and maybe just keep the eyes open for a moment or so and just take a few breaths here and just start to observe how the shape is going to land, or how this body lands into this shape here. Giving your body the opportunity to just fall into the support beneath you and melt over the rolled blanket. Taking a moment just to observe how the breath flows in and out of the nostrils. Release any control right now and just let your breath naturally be how it wants to be. If you feel fairly settled here, feel free to close your eyes. Just breathing in across the chest and out into soft palms. And then taking 3 more breaths here. Nice. Just bring the arms in so that they're down along your side with the palms facing down, feet at about hip distance. And then draw your right knee in towards you, nice and slow. You might feel a little wobbly on the spine here. And then just take that knee with your hands, if it's available. If not, just leave your hands down at your side. Maybe even just the one hand grabs for that knee. And then flex the foot, send the heel towards the sky, reaching up through the back of the leg. Then start to lower that leg nice and slow, reaching through the heel, lower it all the way down towards the floor. Just feel length through the back of the leg, maybe even a little bit of an opening to the front of the hip flexors here. And then turn the toes out towards the right, so you're going to externally rotate the entire leg bone, and then start to lift that leg up towards the sky and then lower it down. So just lifting and lowering through the right leg. Nice. Then cross that ankle over your left knee. Just take a few breaths there. Just allow your knee to fall out to the right side. Just relaxing through the upper body and shoulders still. Feeling that support, but also just allowing the shoulders to still wrap around the blanket. And then releasing that leg down. Drawing your left in nice and slow towards your body. So maybe hugging that in with both hands or just the left. And giving a little squeeze into the side of the body. And then release and begin to extend that leg up towards the sky. Reach through the heel, toes in your direction, and then lengthen the leg, slowly lowering it all the way down towards the mat. Let it relax when it meets the floor. And then maybe everything is already sort of rotated out towards that left side, and then start to lift and lower that left leg. So lifting from the inner seam of the leg, reaching the leg long. Nice, lift that leg up, cross it over the right knee. Just take a moment and just a few breaths here, relaxing again through upper back, shoulders. Nice, and then release from that. Just take your time, roll over to your side. And we're just going to set that blanket off to the side. Let yourself come down, the full spine down onto the mat. Just take a moment just to experience how that feels after a few moments on the blanket. And then we'll reach the arms up towards the sky, reach them up overhead, and then snow angel the arms down towards your side. And just move through that a few times. So inhale, rising them up. Nice and slow, exhale them down at your side, like you're moving through water or snow here. Nice. 3 more times like that. Nice and slow. Full breath in as you reach up overhead. Exhale as you move down along your side. And then I'm on my last one. Not sure where you are, but just finish that off and just let yourself relax. And then hug knees in towards your chest. Rolling from side to side, maybe on the low back. Alright, and then take your time, release the hands again. Start to draw circles with each knee. So I'm going to move in opposite direction. And you're going to feel some engaging happening through the belly. So just move really slow here. Just circling around through the hips. Just avoiding the low back arching too much. Just feel the natural curve there. And the hips can usually get quite warm and tired here quickly. So especially if you're moving really slowly. And then change your direction. Nice. Keep the knees up above the hips and the shins parallel to the floor and the feet pointed up towards the sky. So just starting to find some stability here through the low body, the low belly. So feeling this sense of kind of hugging everything in, the whole rib cage in towards center. Or reach the arms up overhead. So just moving through alternating arms and legs. So right arm is going to reach up, left leg's going to reach low. So reaching through that heel, reach up through the right arm. Everything's hovering here. So everything's fairly engaged. Left shoulder is falling heavy towards the mat. And just breathing here. And then bring that back to center. Right arm, or right leg reaches. Left arm overhead. Long through that side of the body. So left knee still up above the hip. Right leg's hovering, right arms reaching to the sky, shoulders relaxed. And then start to move through that, alternating from side to side, just really slow here. And just kind of get into a little bit of a rhythm with it. Maybe even close your eyes and just feel nice, slow, controlled movements. Maybe even a little bit of heat building in the body. Just reaching the leg as far as it is comfortable. You can even just kind of hinge from the hip and not lengthen the leg straight. Just breathing, slow and full with the movement. Nice, and then release that, just kind of wiggle and shake it out a little bit. And turn the ankles and the wrists. Draw knees in towards chest, roll around, just kind of do a little bit of movement here that feels good for you and how that kind of landed in your body right now. Maybe reach arms up overhead, reach legs long, so nice long reach the entire body. And release that down. I'm bending through the knees, rolling over to your side, and come on up. You're going to take your blanket roll now, and it's going to go across. It's going to fit into the space of your low back. And then your pillows. So you're going to have butterfly legs here. So sitting in front of this roll, it's going to be when you lean back over it, it will kind of, your low back's going to naturally curve, but if you can kind of find it just lightly touching your low ribs, that might feel really nice. So hug these pillows in nice and close right to start. So bending through the knees, hug them right up snug to your hips, let them into your low back space. Soles of the feet together, and then let yourself come back, and then you can adjust so that you will feel a little bit of a back bend just kind of right around the shape, right around where the diaphragm is actually. So the low back kind of naturally has its curve, and then you're meeting into the space of the diaphragm. So really hug those blankets or pillows in nice and snug, soles of the feet together, so that the legs just fall comfortably out to the sides. They don't feel like there's a really huge, intense stretch in the inner thighs. And then just let everything relax here. Arms can come out to the side. You can reach up overhead. Lengthen maybe the back of your neck for a moment, and just rock your head from side to side. And we'll spend a few moments here, so just take your time to land into a place that feels supportive and comfortable. And that you can take a few really full breaths in. So take a full breath in the nostrils. And a full breath out the nostrils. Just kind of feeling like the body's deflating of the air and just kind of sinking into the support beneath you. And then take another big inhale. Inflate the body. Feel the fullness. And then exhale and just feel the heaviness here. One more very focused breath in, nice and full and big. And then exhale. Soften into the shape. Just spend the next few moments perhaps just kind of following and watching the breath as it moves through the body, and just feel like you could smooth out through the bends and the folds and any of the tension or the busyness in the mind. Just giving the mind a little map through the body, exploring the body with your breath, and just finding places to soften into. becoming aware where the mind distracts. Just bringing it back. And as you scan through with the body, maybe just kind of noticing the sensations, just what makes you aware that you have a body, that you're in a body, that your body's breathing. And then if your arms are not already up overhead, just start to wiggle your fingers for a moment. And just take a second here with the elbows bent into a cactus shape of the arms. And the fingers and palms can be way out to the side, just wherever that feels like the shoulders can relax. Maybe even reaching up overhead, grab for wrists or opposite elbows. Just take a breath here. Nice, release the arms back down at your side. Slowly guiding your knees back up to center. Step the feet wide for a moment. Take the blankets away, set them off to your right side, pillows, to your right side. Walking the feet in towards your hips. Take your time to start to just peel the tailbone away from the floor. So just pressing down into the feet. You'll feel a little bit of pressure maybe into the back, but feel yourself maybe lift a little bit off the blanket. And then roll back down. Just let the spine kind of unravel and land. So doing that a few times, just slowly pressing into the feet, tucking tailbone, lifting it up towards the sky. Maybe lifting away from the blanket if that feels available. And then the next time you're lifted, if it works for you to pull the blanket out to the side, out to your right, then do so. If that doesn't feel quite available, just come down, roll to your side and do that, and then just come back down onto a flat spine. And then take a moment. I do find that I often have to move my shoulder blades away from my pelvis here. Maybe it feels like the spine's gotten a little bit longer. If there's any aching in the low back at all, you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Just spend a moment and just be with however your body's kind of guiding you to move right now. Okay, so bringing feet back down if they are lifted. So what you're going to do is take one of the pillows and bring it between your knees, between your thighs. And then you have your other one on the right hand side. That's, I think I'm saying the rights and lefts wrong because I'm backwards, but it doesn't matter. One pillow between your knees, one pillow on one side of you, and then your blanket on the other side of you. So you're going to scoot your hips, so press into your feet, lift your hips up and bring them close to where your blanket is. Just a little bit. And then you're going to roll over to your side so that you come into a twist and your knees land on the other blanket. And you can hug them up close to your hips so you have a nice cushion to land onto. And then you have the one in between your thighs. So you move into a twist. Your spine should be still kind of running right down the center line of your mat. And then you can take that blanket and snug it up in behind your spine, kind of behind your bum and your hips. Just to give you kind of a little support. It's always nice to feel that up against the back. It usually helps the nervous system even to feel supported here. And then wherever you can perhaps extend the arms out wide to the side and just move into a twist here. Just let your head kind of relax wherever it lands. Maybe close the eyes. If you have your eye covering, you can always cover that over for a moment. Just release if there's any holding or kind of squeezing of the blanket between you, and just make sure that your legs are in a place where they can just kind of flop into the support of the blankets. And then you have that roll behind you. Just finding a little more softness to the breath. Beginning to come back to a little bit of movement. I'm going to move the blanket away from behind you. Let yourself come back down onto your back. Neutral spine. Let your feet walk wide and your knees fall in towards the pillow, and just take a few moments just on the back here. Let the spine relax down. We'll switch your blanket and your pillow. So pillow up nice and snug. Take a moment to actually press into your feet, lift your hips, and send them over towards where your blanket is. And then the knees up and over, and they land down on your blanket. Snug that blanket up, or I keep saying that, pillows. Snug your blanket up behind you so that it gives you a little snug hug from the back. It's always kind of that nice feeling of having something against your back. Just feeling that support that you can offer yourself here through this practice, reaching the arms out, just letting your head fall in its most comfortable place. Perhaps covering the eyes and just allowing the breath to soften through the body. Let the inner thighs relax and the ankles. Just take your time to bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes, moving through the wrists, the ankles as you slowly guide yourself back up to center. Just kind of re-straighten out through the spine. Let your knees drop in and the feet can step wide again. Just take a few breaths. And then setting that blanket off to the side. Just come on over to your side and press into your hands to come up. And then we'll just turn this around now. So you're going to take one of your pillows to, it's going to be where your feet are, so the tops of your ankles. See if you can get me on the screen here. Then your other pillow is going to be, we're going to go belly down, so it's actually going to be underneath your belly, like the soft part of your belly into your hips probably, depending on the size of it. Then you have your other blanket. You can bring that up towards your head and face just to give you a little extra cushion there. So tops of the feet and ankles to the pillow, belly down onto the other one. I can't tell if you can see me, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And then your other blanket, so that's just up in front of you. So it just really depends. You may want this underneath your chest. You may want it underneath your face and neck so that you can have your forehead down on your hands, or you may even turn your head to one side. So just make sure that it feels like your knees are cushioned enough here and your belly feels okay. It might feel a little tender for holding any stress in the belly. And just let yourself come down to a relaxing shape, head to the side or forehead to the back of the hands, and just starting to take some soft breaths into the space of your belly and low back. If your head is turned in one direction, take a moment and gaze to the opposite side. Couple more breaths there. And then when you're ready, just pressing up towards your elbows. Just take a moment, kind of move through the shoulders, just rolling them up and back, just kind of pressing into the elbows. Maybe drop the head and sway from side to side, or stretch out the back of the neck a little bit. And then And bend the knees, flex the feet. Just draw the heels towards your bum for a moment as you press into the elbows, so fairly active, just into a little bit of a back bend and chest opener here. And then point the toes, circle around through the ankles. Nice. And then coming to hands, come up to a tabletop position. Just move around a little bit. Maybe even send the knees wide and sink yourself back towards a child's pose for a second, or move through cat and cow, or wag your tail, wiggle your bum, move around. Just do whatever feels good for a moment. Forward and back. And then take a moment, just come on up. We're just gonna come to sitting. So just prop your pillows up nice and high for you here. And then take your blanket. We'll just give it a few folds. If cross-legged's not your thing, you can always sit up a little bit higher or sit on your shins, or any way really that's comfortable for you. I like to just tuck that underneath my legs a little bit. I don't even know if you can see that. I think so. All right, sitting up nice and tall. Just start to find some movement through your neck and head. Maybe full circles if that feels okay. And then come up tall, roll the shoulders a little bit here. And just take a moment to just let yourself relax into a comfortable seat that feels tall and relaxed, comfortable. Maybe close the eyes, find the slightest tuck to your chin, length through the back of your neck. Close the eyes or soften gaze and just tune back into what makes you aware that you have a body or that you are in a body. I just want to thank all of you for showing up and practicing with me here today, or if you're doing this at another time, because during the times we're in, I think it's quite easy to get distracted and perhaps not make the time for yourself, and just to find a little bit more quiet or a little bit more ease. And truly, I think that's asks a lot of strength. So we can definitely look at physical strength, but this ability to actually just kind of slow down and be with yourself and be with your body, be with maybe even the quiet. It's a beautiful place. So thank you. I honor you. I appreciate you. And the light of me sees the light in you. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.